Are you ready to join me in transforming fear to freedom? That's the objective of the show. Are you ready to explore with me and my guests? Are you ready to get into the deep and play? This is where it's at, and that's what it's all about. No medical advice here. Use discernment and decide for yourself if the information is right for you. All views and opinions expressed on this show belong to the individual and are not necessarily shared with the producer of the show. Want more details? Go to letsgetrealchattingwithcatherine.com. Now let's get real and have some fun. Who are we going to explore with today? Come on with me and let's get into the deep. Welcome to another episode of Let's Get Real, Chatting with Catherine. And who we're going to explore with today is Rose Sangregorio. For many of you know Rose, but for those who don't, Rose Sangregorio is the founder and director of the Metaphysical Center of Canada Corporation. And she is an intuitive, she is a holistic speaker, teacher, healer. She is a teacher and spiritual advisor. She does group meditation teachings and all kinds of workshops. She travels all over the world. She has great books, CDs, tools to offer. And we talked about some of this before in previous interviews. Today, I invited her to just have another chat to catch up before we get into the new energies of December and the beginning of 2013 to see what she was picking up. And she's just a beautiful energy and some great wisdom and insights. And I really enjoyed chatting with her. So I hope you're going to enjoy this too. Her website information and everything is on letsgetrealchattingwithcatherine.com on the guest page. And she's got a great opportunity for this weekend, December 1st and 2nd. And she's talked about that a bit in this video. But I wanted to make sure that you know about it because I think it's just fantastic. Her big thing is empowering you with the tools so that you are actually capable of manifesting in your own life what it is you want, the life you want, and to remember who you really are. So let's get at it. Let's go chat with Rose Sangregorio. Thank you for joining us today for another sit-down chat on Let's Get Real, chatting with Catherine and my guest, Rose Sangregorio. For those of you who are not familiar with what Rose does, there are several YouTube videos that we've gone through all the details of how she came to her gifts and so forth. But because today I really want to get into some of the exciting things that are happening on planet Earth and what Rose is seeing and picking up. So welcome to the show, Rose. Thank you for joining me. It's a real pleasure for me.
Hi. It's great to be back. It's great. I've been looking forward to this.
Yeah.
Oh, we're in some wonderful time right now. And did you have specific questions you want to ask me before I start talking?
Well, no, what I wanted to say is you've been out and about in the world, and I wondered if, we are November 29th, 2012. We've had the equinox is coming. We've had a full moon. We've had several planetary changes. So I wanted, I know a lot of people are picking up on the energy shifts, and some people understand or believe they do, and some people definitely don't. So I guess those are some areas I'd love you to help us to understand what's happening and how we maybe can start with the planetary changes, the shifts on the planets, what's been happening, what you're picking up, and if you can share, share that with us, that would be fantastic.
Okay. Well, there's a lot going on right now, and we are here at the full moon lunar eclipse energy, and yesterday, November 28th, 2012, was the full moon lunar eclipse. So today still carries that energy, which is the 29th. I want to go back just a little bit, just so people get on to better understand the details of what we're going to move into. November 11 of this year was, in a sense, the beginning of the ending of this old energy, of the finale that people have been talking about. And so with that date, we moved into the cycles of opening to a new moon solar eclipse, which was on, I'm trying to remember what date that was, November 14th, 2012. And so we had energies that came in at that point. And those energies were about helping us to better prepare ourselves on many levels, physically, emotionally, mentally, spiritually, so that we could, as individuals and as well as group consciousness on the planet, be able to integrate and better receive and absorb and become one of these new energies that are coming in. So these new energies that I'm talking about, I believe I spoke about in my last interview with you, and that's about the new paradigm that's coming in. And so we as physical beings are physical matter. And when energy comes into our bodies, when it hits our energy field, because of the solar system we are in, and of course the solar eclipse, we are affected. And whether we know it consciously or not, these effects create lots of things for us. Sometimes disturbance our sleep, we sleep more than normal, we feel more tired, or the opposite. A lot of people are sensitive to the energy, and they feel the energy coming in and it wakes them up. So they're not sleeping as much. They're feeling more energized, more wired, if you want to use that.
Would you mind explaining again about the full moon?
Okay. Let me see. So I might not say exactly the same words because I'm just letting the energy flow. But this full moon is a lunar full moon. And the energies at this time are very much about going deeper within ourselves to unveil the inner goddess and the inner divine feminine. That part of us that has been protected. I want to use that word protected because of all the traumas, because of all that has happened on this planet. The divine feminine, the goddess energy, was put away and protected in, like a baby before it's born is protected in the mother's womb. And so this full moon is literally opening us. That eclipse energy is about really going deep within to the shadows so that we can pull out of the shadows not the new, but the energy of the divine feminine and the goddess to come forward so that it can harmonize to the masculine. It can harmonize to the divine male, to the divine God. And so as the two can harmonize with each other, then what will happen is, again, we need this for the new paradigm to create harmony on this planet. We have the male and the female, the divine male, the divine feminine, the God, the goddess. They're all together working in harmony with each other, where the goddess will step forward and the God will support her. Or there'll be times where the God needs to step forward and the goddess supports him. And the same thing happens on the physical, the masculine and the feminine. They support each other. The divine female, the divine male, they support each other. And so in that supporting and that harmonizing, that dance, we create the energy field on this planet that we can be in harmony, not only within ourselves, but with each other, with these energies.
Right.
And that's what this full moon energy is about, is opening us to that place so that when we hit the 12-12-12 and 12-21-12, that portal of light can be brought into us as deeply and as profoundly as possible that we can at that moment in time, so that we can springboard into 2013 to walk into these new energies that we are moving into.
Okay, and you mentioned the bookends, the dates, the bookends.
The bookends, the December 12, 2012, December 21, 2012. If you're into numerology, both of those numbers come to an 11. It's like two bookends holding the space for this Big Bang to occur. And I keep getting told to use the words Big Bang. I know there's a show called Big Bang, but it's not the show. It's the energies are coming in. And it's allowing us to truly embody the maximum amount of this light and this energy that we can at this time.
I'm just wanting to say the Big Bang reminds me of the Big Bang they talk about at the beginning of creation.
It is. It's like a new creation. This is about a new world. The Mayans said our world would end at this time, and it will end. The world as we know it will end. Right. The energies as we have known them will end. We will move forward into the new part of creation, and 2013 is the beginning of that. It's the Big Bang happens, but then everything's kind of out there, and it's like, okay, where are the chips going to fall? Where's everything going to fall into place? And that's, we do have things that we're going to bring with us into this new world. I want to bring the gift of family with me into this new world. I want to bring the gift of friends, of the people that we meet in all our travels around the world. I mean, one thing we've learned in this planet, no matter where we go in the world, everyone has the same desires. We all want good things for ourselves and our families. And more in the last few years, more and more people want good things for our planet. And that is a huge change to when we first started this work. And so, the creation of this whole new paradigm, we're all part of it. And the more we can harmonize with each other, the greater and stronger the new paradigm will be in a harmonious state.
So I was saying that we're seeing a lot of truth coming out. A lot of truth, and that's coming out in the public figures, in politicians and whatever, but it's also in the individual.
I didn't quite get the whole question, but I think I've got the gist of what you're saying. Yes, definitely. These energies from our universe are compounding what we as individuals are being literally forced to start changing within ourselves. And so, the new energies are about having integrity, having honesty, speaking truth, no matter what that means, speaking the truth, to do it with compassionate love in our heart. And so definitely, if things are being shaken up, the truth must come through.
Right.
People and people that have been hiding things, that has to be revealed in the new energy, the new light. It's like going into a room that has been dimly lit, and all of a sudden you come in with this high power spotlight, and you notice that in this room, all of a sudden there's like, wow, there's stuff in the corner there, or gee, I didn't know this was sitting here. And so this is what's happening. The light on our planet has increased. The ability to see clearly with the heart, the light of the divine, is stronger. And so all these people have been hiding, companies even, governments, that all has to come to the surface to be cleared. So that in our new paradigm, we have this ability to live in a place of harmony with each other. So
then we're going through, we've got this full moon that we're in now, then we've got December 12th, which is a big date, and December 21st, which is even bigger. Mm-hmm. These energies are helping to propel us into this new, right? Even though it may be uncomfortable, it's helping us to move forward.
Yes. And I don't want to say December 21 is even bigger. It's like one date is not it. It's a time continuum piece. And it's from December 12 to December 21. That's the Big Bang energy. And then we're moving into sort of like we've hit that high place. And then the last few weeks of 2012 are sort of like a plateau that prepares us to springboard into the new year.
Okay.
So, yeah, so I don't want to say that one date is better than another. It's more that the two together are the bookends for this energy to come in.
Okay. So,
Because if you're into numerology, 12, 12, 12, well, you add up the numbers, it's the same. It's 1 plus 2 plus 1 plus 2 plus 2 plus 0 plus 1 plus 2. And I can't add it up in my head, but I'm being told it's an 11. And so if we take December 21, it's exactly the same frequency. And that becomes an 11. And so you've got the two bookend energies holding the space for this whole new version of energy to come in and be planted on this planet.
The best way for people to deal with the shifts themselves individually.
Okay, I can answer that.
Okay.
The best way for people to deal with this stuff that's coming up, you know, there's many methods, and all methods work for different people. Everyone is at different levels. Everyone is different in what their issues are. So when I give what I think will work, well, not what I think, but the masters are guiding me to say will work, remember that for one person, this might work like a charm. It's like, wow, this is amazing. And the next person, they might know the difference, but not very much. So remember that. And when I talk, I'm also trying to give you a general overview so that you have the option to choose what you want to do to help yourself. So one way, you know, first and foremost, the masters are constantly saying, do your spiritual practice. Now, a spiritual practice can be anything. It can be praying, it can be chanting, it can be meditating. A spiritual practice can be whatever works for you.
Right.
The key for spiritual practice is what works for you, that you do something that connects you, heart, soul, to the divine, whatever the divine is to you. If you can walk on walk on grass, for example, and be totally communing with the God that is to you, the God, within your heart, then that's a form of spiritual practice, because what you're doing is opening your heart to this divine to come to you. If for you meditating is what works, great. Yoga. So I don't want to limit people in saying you need to do this. The masters have said to me, what's important is that you do a spiritual practice every day. Minimum 50 minutes per day.
50?
Pardon me?
50?
15. A quarter of an hour. So that's not a lot, really, when you think about it. But it's amazing how life gets in the way of even a 15-minute practice. So now we get to discipline. So how do you help yourself? You need to create discipline within yourself. You need to realize that the most important thing in this world, in this creation, is your soul's ability to move to higher and deeper states of the divine. And when you can do that, you become more of who you are as a divine person on this planet, and that moves you into your community, into this world, a person who moves in service with love in your heart. That is the most important thing. So 15 minutes a day for that is not that much. So things you can do. I have all kinds of meditation CDs available. I have my Blitz cards that I channeled through. There's my book. There's the meditations that you can download from the meditation night. All those meditations are opening you from your heart to your highest source, connecting you to the earth, keeping you grounded. So these are elements of how to help yourself. If you have other methods, you don't have to get my stuff, use other methods. But these are the key points that you need to have in your practice. be, so you need to open your heart, connect to the divine, ground yourself. And then bringing in the light into your body. So all my work does this, okay? So I'm not going to say that part again. So you bring the light in, and when the light comes into your body, it starts to change things. So ways to help yourself, daily spiritual practice. Grounding is a very important part of all this because we need to be in this body. I chose to live in this body on this planet. And if I don't get grounded in my body, in my life on this planet, then I'm no good to anyone because I'm way out there floating in outer space and I can't function properly. Grounding is one of the most important parts of the spiritual practice. But I can't make one more important than another. They're saying to me, it's all in harmony. It's like a piece of music cannot lose one part, otherwise the harmony doesn't work. So we need the grounding. We need the open heart, the desire. The open heart, what I mean is the desire to really connect to the divine source.
Right.
And be the best of what you can be without trying to change anyone else, without trying to judge anyone. This is the best of who I am. And the connection and bringing that light in. What happens is when we bring the light into our body, it does start changing things. And like I said, for some people, it may be like instant. They'll feel an instant shift. And some people, they have to do it maybe a week or 2 weeks, a month, before they really notice changes. Either one of those is perfect because it depends on the person. So what else can we do to help us in this time is to be able to recognize when we recognize when we're not neutral. Why do we want to be neutral? Neutral is the power within us to not be in a reactive state. If I hear someone arguing and I get involved because I get triggered by what they're talking about,
right,
I'm in a reactive state. I'm not coming into their conversation to help them. I'm coming in because I'm reacting. If I can be neutral, my connection to my divine source is there. I feel in my heart the connection of the divine, and I ask, what is appropriate at this time to serve the greatest whole, the greatest good of all?
Mm-hmm.
And sometimes the feeling will be, walk away, don't do anything. Sometimes the feeling will be, send them loving blessings. Sometimes the feeling will be, go over and talk to them and see if you can help them resolve by mediating with them. Don't pick sides, just mediate. And so this is where the spiritual practice becomes important. And this is how we can help ourselves, is in the moment to be as neutral as possible, making the decisions and choices that need to happen based on the greater good of all.
I want to ask you, Rose, if I know this, but this keeps coming to me as you're talking, and that's, why are we here?
Why are we here on this planet? I have my theory based on what I've been taught by the masters. I'm going to use the word God. I use God, divine, universe. They're all the same to me.
Right.
So in the essence of the divine, in God, in God, if we can imagine God as a being, because it's easy for our brains to understand that. If we can imagine God as a person, as a being, she wanted to explore him herself, explore creation, explore the universes, because there's not just one universe, as we know. So how does that happen? How does God create this exploration of creation? Well, sending out pulses of light, okay? And those pulses of light go out into creation. And they're like little balls of light on a mission. So as those balls of light move out into creation to receive or explore creation, some of them descended, if you will, you can say descended, to this planet. And created human form, and we created ourselves on this planet to experience this place. So that we recognize that in this reality we have egos, we have thoughts and feelings, we have the frequency of light is so slow that it creates density, right? We have matter, we can touch things.
Right.
And so we explore this. And we also, in this reality, have free will choice. And with free will choice, we have thoughts, feelings, and egos. And those egos can help us create what I call karma, and many people on this planet call karma, and create us to get stuck here and forget that we are divine. And these thoughts and feelings and choices we make can also create for us the ability to move outside of those lower energies. And so, in a sense, in a nutshell, we've come here as an extension of the divine source to experience this reality. And what would happen if I was to project myself into a reality that has all the elements of the third dimensional world, and what would happen?
Mm.
So we are here on this planet, I feel, again, based on what I've been taught, that we're here to experience life as a divine being in matter, and that's what we're here for.
So
Now,
this is the time of remembering, then. Would you say this is the time of remembering?
this is a time of remembering.
Mm-hmm.
So
Yeah.
I did that. This is a time of remembering. These are words that people use. The memories of being the divine, being part of the divine, are always in our hearts. They've been there because the seat of our soul is in the heart center. And so the memory is always there. What has happened is through our experiences on this planet, whether you believe in past lives or whether you believe you're only in this life and that's it, through the experiences you've had on this planet, we have, in a sense, cloaked the awareness that we are divine beings.
Mm-hmm.
And as we go through the process of, I'm going to use the word healing ourselves, changing the way we think and feel, it removes that cloaking energy, and the true light of who we are is exposed. And this is sort of what I was talking about this full moon that we're in right now, November 28th. So that cloaking, as it's removed, as the layers are unfolded, the true part of us is revealed. So we can say it's remembering, but to me it's more acknowledging or having the revelation of who we truly are.
Okay.
The title of my book, The Journey to Self-Enlightenment, is all about we go within ourselves to discover who we truly are. And who we truly are is divine. So I don't know if it's more about remembering. Remembering means that we've forgotten. But my experience working with all the people I've worked with over the years and helping people discover that connection, it's more of opening to revealing what's there rather than remembering. That's the only way I can decide, explain that.
Okay. So do you...
a time of remembering, but for me it's more a time of revealing our true selves.
Okay. So in January, do you think more people will be stepping into the revelation? More people are going to get it?
I would think so. From what I'm being shown as we move into 2013, as I'm being shown, more and more people will move into recognizing who they truly are. I'm getting a sense that more and more people are going to realize, in a way, almost like they're waking up from a dream. You know, when you've been sleeping and you have these really heavy, deep sleeps and you wake up and you're kind of a little bit discombobulated. I love that word. Little discombobulated, and it takes you a while to sort of just get back. To me, that's what it seems will happen. We'll have more people feeling almost as if they've been asleep and waking up. It's like, wow, this is what life is about. Now, does this mean that all of a sudden we're going to have peace on earth and everyone's going to love each other? I highly doubt it. I really do. The masters have shown me and have said to me, this is more that we have enough energy, enough light on earth right now to support, to hold everyone so that our choices will be easier to move to a more enlightened place. And enlightenment means recognizing that we are all one. We are many and we are one in this world that we live in. And recognizing that we cannot create the beauty of this planet without each and every one of us, with our diversity, with our cultures, with our beliefs. But what I'm witnessing from what they show me is that as we move into this new paradigm, things that no longer serve us, that keep us in separation, keep us fighting, keep us hating each other or trying to hurt each other, are going to become much less, more, lessened. And what will happen is the more people come on board, the less we're going to have of the things that we see on the planet and we have seen on this planet.
You think we'll have more tools to deal with chaos?
Yes, and the tool will be the ability to stay connected to your source. And the tools that go with that, the various meditation forms, the various yoga forms, the various therapies, people go to therapies. My sense is there's going to be a lot of changes in how people work with themselves and work with each other as therapists and coaches. My sense is a lot of the teachings from the past, a lot of them are going to sort of be dissolved. And a lot of new, I don't want to say new because nothing's really new. A lot of it is remembering what we used to do way back when, that we're using it again. That's the sense I get. So will we have more tools? My sense is yes, but it's not necessarily new tools. They're tools that we have buried away in the past that will come forward.
Right.
But if I can give one tool that's the most important, it is, and I'm not religious here, but the spiritual practice is the greatest tool anyone can have. Because every time you have that spiritual practice and you make that connection, it's that much stronger. It's like opening a faucet of water. You open up a trickle, and then every time you practice, the trickle gets a little bit bigger. Every time you practice, it's a little bit bigger. So the chance of that water being cut off is much less when it's more water than when it's less. And that's the way to look at the light coming into your body. And that's why it's so important for spiritual practice.
And that's why you're so popular all around the world, teaching people how to make that connection. Do you think?
I would think that's probably one of the reasons, yes. Because I help people recognize who they really are. I help people through the classes I teach, the lectures I give, the healing nights I do. I help people clear away that debris that's coating their true essence.
Well, your teachings are about empowering, though. I noticed it's more about giving people the tools so that they can connect themselves.
Most definitely, because as people make that connection, they need the tools to be able to keep on working on themselves. Because sure, you see me for a weekend, but then you go home and life happens. So, you need tools. You need the ability to go home and keep making that connection. And when you hit a blip in the connection, like you hit a blip where all of a sudden, I don't know, you notice that I got really angry there with that person. you realize, wow, why did I get angry? It's not that person that well, they just triggered your anger.
Right.
So now I've got to figure out, okay, now I'm angry. So what do I do with it? I do whatever I need to do to change, find out what got triggered that caused the anger. What are the thoughts? What are the feelings? And I need to change those thoughts and feelings that are based on a fear of some sort so that I'm neutral. And the way to do that is to bring the love of the dome. So definitely, I'm not about taking people's power away. I don't want people to have to see me to get help. I want people to see me, get a bit of a boost, and then they go home and do their work. So
Do
they
you
can
think
do their own.
that, you know how sometimes in history we've seen revolutions or evolutions, and there's been big gurus or teachers that, people are moved from one religion to another. Do you see 2013 as less gurus and more each individual knowing they have their own?
Um, my sense is as time progresses, that will be the case. I feel that at this point in time, because of such a big shift and a big change, a lot of people are going to be seeking. They're going to be seeking that connection because at some level they're going to recognize they need to make the connection to their divine source. And so some people will still seek out the guru type person, which is fine. But what will happen in the new paradigm, in this new world, from what I'm being shown, is that people are going to become stronger in their own heart knowing. And if they seek someone that's like a guru to them, and that guru becomes manipulative or starts to try and entrap them in some, they will know and they will walk away. In the past, people wouldn't see it. Right. And they would just get caught in it. And so this is where there are some that are great teachers on this planet. And I don't want to say, no, people don't go there. I do see that still happening, but not the way it was before, blind devotion. It's more personal power, making choices. This is what I want to do at this time.
Yeah, I think that's great. So if there's some message before the new year that you really think is important to share, what would it be?
The gift of patience is more patience.
I believe that must be true.
Year? Let's see if they have a message for the new year. I do want to say this for those who are able to participate. On December 30th, I do have what I call World Peace Meditation Day and Messages from the Masters for 2013. It is held in Calgary at the Freemasons Hall. And if you're interested in it, you could go to our website or you could call us. And you don't have to physically participate. You can join. And then I send out a lecture, a copy of the lecture and a copy of the meditation that we do for that day. And people will get a link to download it if you become part of that matrix when you join.
Right.
And if you can come in person, great. That's even better yet. But so I do want to say that. So on that day, there will be a lot more details and a lot more succinct. They wait for the time to put it out because the masters say if we start to focus on next year now, we won't be focusing on what we're supposed to be at this moment in time. Okay. That's what they but I can give you a message for next year because they're saying they'd like to. So for next year, I would say that it's very important for people to really seek out the places where they feel the most comfortable in allowing themselves to become more deeply connected to their divine, but also places they feel most comfortable in to help them recognize what's going on within them so that they can become neutral to what's going on within themselves. 2013 is very much a year that people will be brought to a place of, I'm going to use the word reckoning, but not meaning it in a religious sense. people are going to have to walk the talk, not just talk the talk. 2013 is about people really, truly moving into what they're meant to be doing on this planet versus following someone else's plan. And, you know, people are going to be moving more and more towards really, truly wanting to become more of who they truly are and helping to harmonize and blend all the different teachings of all the different paths into a one harmonious place. Mm-hmm. So 2013 is the beginning of moving into the future of bringing all paths as a harmony with each other on this planet.
Mm-hmm. Okay, that's profound, and I'm just also wanting to know if there's anything, Rose, that you feel you wanted to share today.
What else can I talk about? Let me see if there's anything else I need to talk about. I will say that there is going to be, for some people, that sense of, you know, I've been doing this for years, and now here she is talking about even more that we have to do. And, you know, the biggest surprise to me on this path was finding out that the more I know, the more I realize I don't know. And the more work I do on myself, the more I connect to the divine, the more I realize there's way more out there to connect to. And so the path never ends. It's an unfolding of spirit in matter. And so as we move into these next years that are coming and these next weeks, it's not about, well, I've done that already once before. Why do I have to do it again? It's recognizing and understanding that we've moved to these new levels, and now we've got to clean out that level. And then it's all clean and wonderful and great, and now we move to another level. And so when we move into these levels, there's always bits and pieces that we've missed from the prior levels, as well as whatever's in that level to be looked at. And so until we move into the actual place of being spirit, no longer matter, mm-hmm. then we will always have something to look at, to clear, and to heal. Because that's our service as an individual soul on this planet, is to become the best of who we are so we can help others become the best of who they are. And that's what the message is that I have to pass on to everyone.
So do you think that as we go into 2013, we're going to see more world crisis, like planetary shifts and financial shifts and stuff like that, or more harmony?
You know, in the teachings that I give and that I do, I know there's other teachings out there that are similar. There is a ray, which is a quality of the divine, of God qualities, that is harmony through chaos. And what I've experienced when I go deep into creation and I go into the levels of light, what appears to be serene and tranquil is actually chaotic energy. And that chaotic energy has its own harmony. Wow. And so from chaos is birthed the harmony. And from harmony is birthed chaos. And so this is like a conundrum, right? We can't have harmony without the chaos, and we can't have the chaos without the harmony. But we attribute chaos in our reality to be something bad, right? We think, oh, wow, it's chaos, it's bad. Chaos can be something to fuel goodness as well. So when I say, do I see chaos in the future as we move into 2013, as we move into this new beginning, there will be a little bit, because the old structures are being broken down. And for the old structures to break down, most people are not willing to let them break down with ease and grace. Most people are still in that paradigm of chaos and trauma. Mm-hmm. We want chaos and harmony. So the key to make this happen with the most harmonious blend of chaos and harmony is for us to become as neutral as possible to the events, so that if there's a financial world event, we don't react we respond from neutrality as to what is the best action at this moment in time to serve the greater good of all. So do I see chaos? A little bit. Do I see harmony? More so. But we can't have one without the other.
Okay.
The only difference is the more people that are in an enlightened state that allow themselves to respond from the compassionate, loving heart, the less the chaos will be trauma and the chaos will become harmony. That's what they're telling me.
Right. Okay.
Yeah, I feel that what I need to say today for people to hear and understand is complete. If I can, I would love to mention that I'm having a workshop this weekend, a healing night on Friday, and then a workshop on the weekend called Intimate Encounter with the Angels. I'm really excited about it because it's an experiential workshop where I will talk about the hierarchies of angels and the angelic realms, but people will actually experience being with the archangels of the rays.
Wow.
That I talk about in my book. And I will do a similar class the first weekend of January, Intimate Encounter with the Masters. The two together are wonderful. If you can only do one, you do one. But I do want to say this so that people hear about it.
How do they sign up?
Well, to sign up, the best would be to call our office or email us. You can get the information on our website. And I believe you say all that stuff, right?
It's all on the guest page, yes. And
yeah. So the quickest is to email or call us, and then because it's this weekend.
Right, which is December 1st?
I think it's December 1st and 2nd.
Okay.
And the healing night is November 30th.
Okay. So hopefully this will be broadcast before that.
Yeah. Hopefully. And if not, oh well.
Yeah. Well, it's as it's meant to be. And I really want to thank you, Rose, for taking time to be with us and to share your wisdom. And, like I said, I don't gravitate to gurus, but I do think what we need people like you to share what you know.
But I want to say thank you for having me again. It's been wonderful. I've enjoyed myself. So thank you for everyone who listens, and thank you, Catherine, for creating the space and the opportunity for me to bring these words out to the world. So
much love, Rose. Thank you.
Bye-bye.
Bye-bye. Take care. Wow, wasn't that amazing? Thank you to my guests for sharing with us today. Thank you for watching. Feel free to share the link. You can join us for live shows by going to letsgetrealchattingwithcatherine.com and listen to the replays from the show page, preview guests, and explore links to our Facebook fan page, WordPress blog, and more. We are creating an exquisite world. Until next time, take care.